Okay, 7th garden tour of 2025. We're starting here with this blueberry, which, a couple months ago I thought it wasn't doing too great, but it does have a lot of new stuff springing up, so I think that's really good. I took out the part that was dead this morning, so hopefully it's good news for next year. And then the pineapple is doing okay under here. Another blueberry plant. Oh, and there was some damage because I lost a tree, came down on the deck, so there's damage. There's still a lot of the tree left in the yard too. So here's a blueberry looking really good. It did fine. It just got a little sawdust on it. Some scallion, the tree that came down. Let's go around. There's another blueberry back there. Right back there. And it was a tiny one when it started, and I don't know if it will do well, like if it's just going into fall dormancy or if it's just not happy. Here's the fig tree. This fig tree was actually knocked down when the tree came down. So relative to that, it's looking pretty good. It was basically holding up some of the tree weight. Here's a new tree that I got. This is a soapberry. So that's going to go in somewhere. Not necessarily here. It's just resting here right now. But it's going to go in somewhere. Sweet potatoes here. They definitely took a hit when the tree came down, but are coming back. This is kind of like my little nursery area. These are going into the wildflower area. And here we have the Jamaican sorrel. These two are doing fantastic. This one, not so much. And that one's okay. But these two have really been thriving. Then also in this bed, I have some cabbage. So this one, and then these broccolis there and there are newly planted. And then these are the old ones that are still somehow alive. There, and there, and even you can see forming like the smallest cabbage head possible, but it's trying. And we also have strawberries here. This is probably a carrot. I don't remember planting it, just kind of sprouted up. There's some more sweet potatoes. Those are leftovers from last year that started to sprout. And then Swiss chard here and there that I just bought this year. In this next bed, we have peppers there. It says jalapeno peppers, but I actually think this is that mystery pepper. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a little bit spicier than a jalapeno. And then there's a scotch bonnet back there, a hollyhock. This is an annual that I put in, I can't remember the name of. There's a white coreopsis, which I'm really surprised it hasn't bloomed or anything. Probably won't. This is another one of the annuals that did not survive as well. This was a pepper, it was a free seed, super hot pepper, but when it was still a seed, or a seedling, I mean, the stem broke. So I was surprised it lasted even that long out here, but yeah, it's kind of done now. This is one of the Turkish peppers. It gets nice and long. We have zinnia here. Zinnia growing in the perella. I have a cosmos that's still alive even though it's laying down. This is a shishito pepper. And this bed actually reduced the watering. I reduced the watering on all my beds because I was like, we're going into fall. But then I realized I actually need to bump it back up because even though our mornings are cool, the afternoons are still very, very hot. So the water's been bumped up this week. This is the Cuban oregano or coulis thyme. That's the Spanish oregano there. Spanish lavender, another hollyhock, and another scotch bonnet. And a little strawberry there in the back hiding. And these are some potato experiments I did. So these actually didn't have seed potatoes in them. It was when I was harvesting the other potatoes. Some had, just parts where it was just roots, and so I just put the root part in there to see what would happen, and 2 of them sprouted, which is pretty cool. Nothing from that one yet. So just kind of watching it and seeing what happens. Typically you have like the seed potato and that's what sprouts up, but there wasn't really a seed potato left. It was just like, it was kind of like if I had just torn this portion off of the seed potato and just had the roots attached to it, and that's what I planted. And so they came up, and that's great. And these are sweet potatoes, these 3 beds. They're looking a little wilted right now because they needed water. I just watered them. This bed has basically been on rest all season, except for the blue mealy sage in here and the carrot that went to seed over there. It's just, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. I tried that cover crop earlier in the season with the peas, and like they grew, but after I cut them down, like I didn't really do anything. I probably should have covered the bed, but now it's just grass, so I'm going to have a lot of work to do on it before next year. And coming into the next bed, we have the grapevine up and over here. Have another carrot there. A scallion here, and some of the African marigold seedlings that seeded itself. There's one right there. Seeded itself from that one, that plant that was there for the spring. And then we have right here, front and center, is a very pretty Scotch bonnet with flowers on it, but no fruit quite yet. We have a basil here that's gone to flower. Shishito pepper here. And I'm gonna do a pepper picking after this tour. Have the eggplant, which is also blooming. And then in the back is another pepper here. And this is that like mystery spicier pepper what I was talking about. Can't get a good picture of them. There they are. And then this is the African basil, which the bees enjoy. And it's just blooming a ton. It's kind of always been blooming through the season. There's another zinnia doing really well. It just didn't want to stand up straight, so it's just down. There's a Turkish pepper back there. And actually there's also a strawberry back there as well, along with all the bees. And then in our 3rd/4th bed here, we have lemongrass in the back. I need to pick some of that today as well. We have a shishito back there. This is a jalapeno. So these are what the jalapenos look like, which is why I'm like, yeah, that other one is definitely not a jalapeno. It's more like the mystery spicy pepper. This is what's left of my tomatillo. I got a couple of tomatillos off of it, and then it was kind of just done. Stink bugs got to it, and I'm not sure if they like maybe gave it a disease or something. After a significant stink bugs were on it, it just kind of turned brown and died. And then here is a strawberry, which this strawberry has just been kicking out runners everywhere. There's a runner. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just kind of letting it take the bed, because if it becomes mostly strawberries, that's okay. I will still plant amongst the strawberries and use the strawberries as a ground cover. There's another scallion there. If you come around this way, we have our Barbados cherry in bloom. See all the blooms on there. And the pineapple guava, which is doing okay. It's a desert willow here. And then I have, the flowers and stuff back there in the wildflower area. This is the other wildflower area that the nursery section, those plants are going to come over here around the pond. And we have the pomegranate looking really good. Pomegranate's doing great. Here's the pond. And one of the pond flowers has a bloom on it. There. And then in the back, the shade is a plum tree right back there. Here's a pear tree, which something definitely got to it. And I feel like it happened after I sprayed to protect the tree. So I'm just hoping for a good recovery. Like, I think the new leaves look good, but if we look at the old leaves, there's definitely something that got to them. And now there's like a bug eating it. All right, and then into this bed we have the Mealy Blue Sage, thriving in this bed because it gets a lot of good water. We have the blackberry that has absolutely gone wild over there, taking over everything. And I've tried to kind of cut and pull some out too, and this is still how crazy it's gotten, and it's escaping the bed. And then we have a strawberry back there that's hiding under and amongst all the blackberries. But my plan for the blackberries is, once I see like what's actually going to produce next year, all of those are then going to get cut out, and I'm going to leave a lot fewer for the following year, for 2 years from now, than I did for this year, just to kind of get more airflow and stuff in there. There's an African marigold. When we come into this bed, this is like the most food production bed, really. We have a Korean mint there. We have a tomato that was from the spring but still going. This is the heart-shaped tomato. I think I got it at like Home Depot. You can see through there's basil that's gone to flower. And then there's this whole huckleberry plant here. And then it gets a little chaotic in there, so we're actually going to go around to see the other half of this bed. And on our way, we will talk about this bed, which is mostly flowers at this point, but this has been my best year for dahlias. And so we have a lot of blooms. I started slacking on the deadheading, so I figured that they were coming up to a close pretty soon. And then we have a strawberry here. And there's actually a strawberry over here too on the other side of the dahlia, along with another Korean mint there that volunteered itself there. Lots of this lavender martini agastache. More scallion here, more of the Cuban oregano, more scallion back there. The rose, which was supposed to be climbing this clothesline, but instead it's all that direction, which we'll see in a second. Jalapenos, like I said, I'm going to be harvesting all these peppers after this tour. There's more here, more jalapenos. And then another basil. This one volunteered itself. I think this is the lime or lemon basil that I grew last year. One of those Turkish peppers. They're ready to be picked. Zinnias kind of blocking my path here. The rose also blocking my path. But the rose is also blooming. So once it's kind of done, I'll cut it back. And there's more of the martini agastache, another zinnia in there. So the part that I can't get to in the middle actually has a shishito pepper in it. And then here we have our Scotch bonnet with Scotch bonnets on it, which are great. Kind of see that I'm centering it for you guys. So quite a few Scotch bonnets on this tree. And this is the only one so far that has actually produced. and it's doing a great job. Lots of production in it. There is an eggplant back here. Eggplant with an eggplant on it, but that one looks like something has bitten it, so I will drop that eggplant. And then there is also in here a melon, which was climbing out into this, but now this is, yeah, like there's the melon. It's like a regular personal size watermelon, but this is now a combination of the weeds and the tomato and the melon. Everything is just kind of growing together here. There's more scallion back there, and there is a shishito plant under here as well. And so yeah, that's gonna be it for this tour.